Hello everyone, welcome to Lipnox VR. My name is Adam, and this is Top 10 Video Game Inspired VRChat Worlds. Let's do this. Number 10. So let's start this list off right.
You're back.
First we got Cafe LeBlanc. This is a Persona 5 level, and while there is the full city and everything, I'm just going to show off the cafe itself for the most part. It's such a beautiful world because you actually have the guy, and I apologize, I forget his name, but he's there. You got curry you can eat, there's a TV, there's a whole bunch of secrets upstairs. But I think my favorite part about it is how dead set or dead on to the actual game it feels. It's one of those levels that you sit down on one of the booth areas and you feel like you're 100% there. It has the perfect amount of detail, and even though it is small, it is just packed with so much detail that you could spend 20 minutes looking around everything. The actual city part, which is attached to this, and the upstairs and everything, they have tons of stuff to them too. There's the full Takashi's medical center thing, but I had to start this list off with one of my favorites, and this is definitely one of them. Man, Persona 5 was a long game. I didn't beat it, but I tried. Number 9. Wait, Simpsons? The Simpsons isn't a video game, that's a cartoon series. But wait, this is Simpsons Hit and Run, which is a video game, and one of my favorites, that is. At least my favorite Simpsons game. Not only do you get the main starting level, but you get the other two levels as well. And in terms of glitchy looking things, there's very little of that in this level. Now, of course, there's no one walking around the level, which kind of is disappointing. But when you do go to the environments, you know, Moe's there, you got Apu, you got Chief Wiggum, you know, Homer's on the couch, Marge is doing dishes. They definitely did convert the static characters, just the free roaming walking around ones are not here, unfortunately. Another thing with this level, which did drop it down a bit for me, was the cars I can't get them to work. I try to sit in them, I press forward, and they drive off without me. Likely a minor glitch. I mean, VRChat's always updating, and sometimes things break. Just how could I not put it on the list? I mean, it's The Simpsons in VR. That's awesome. If you ever go back and play Simpsons Hit and Run, you ever notice how difficult some of those races are? Absolute madness. Hope you got some cheats, because you're gonna need them. Number 8. So Grand Theft Auto in VR. That's the dream, right? Well, here's Grand Theft Auto Vice City in VR. The whole map is rendered. It's very glitchy though. There's lots of places that I've fallen through the floor, and as much as I really wanted to, I could not explore the mansion. I just kept falling through the floor. But you get a very cool Tommy Vercetti avatar to play with, and unlike the Simpsons one where I was having an issue with the driving, this level the driving works perfectly fine, and really is mesmerizing to see in the headset with your eyes, as up close some of these details aren't that great, but when you're driving quickly, it looks fantastic. And as it does have NPCs walking around, they are glitched out, so maybe that part isn't so good. But maybe it's just they're acting up because of a bug? Either way, it's an incredibly cool level, and I hope it gets expanded on as time goes on. Or hey, I mean, I'd love to see Rockstar port Vice City into VR. That would be a cool thing. Maybe? Hey, my name's Tommy Vercetti. Welcome to VRChat. Number 7. Next on the list, I absolutely have to show off the Silent Hill 2 level. I'll be honest, I was having a lot of trouble exploring this level in terms of the interiors, so I didn't. I was just too creeped out, to be honest. Once you get inside some of these areas, the darkness is dark. There's even actually a setting to increase the brightness for these areas. So if you think you're up to the challenge, this level is quite massive. There's a full radio, and there is a few little tips on which pathway you're supposed to go, as well as fast travel points. If you think you can handle it, I will say there is one thing that blew me away with this level. It's how good the details are. Despite this being a game from 20 years ago, essentially, this looks absolutely stunning. And I know the environments are for the most part quite basic, but for whatever reason, these translate so well for the VR headset. I'm quite interested to see what happens if this Resident Evil 4 remake actually does happen for the Oculus Quest. And in terms of scares, they do promise no jump scares, but I'll let you figure that one out for yourself. Boom. Number 6. So while no one's going to argue Mario Odyssey isn't an amazing game, I do think that Mario Galaxy might be the most well-received overall in terms of the 3D Mario platforming games. And the opening area where Princess Peach gets captured is such a memorable moment for Mario. This is one of the few levels that you actually get to take a look at what the Mario world looks like outside of the castle. And in terms of Mario levels, few have this city lived in type of feeling like this one does. You're only in it briefly during the game, but don't you worry, there's a lot to do in the VR version. Toads to talk to, rings to collect, secret things to press, and everything has its rewards. I don't want to spoil too much, but I do challenge you to take a look at this platforming challenge and see if you can handle it. Good luck. Mamma mia! Oh ho ho ho! Number 5. So I played World of Warcraft back about, 14 years ago or so? And I'll be honest, I got super addicted super quickly and realized my addiction and backed out, to be honest. I think I played about a month, got to about level 25, and then I was like, yeah, this is too addictive. I did go back and try it again another time, but after a point with all these updates, you fall behind big time. Now, I did not play as one of the orc characters, which is why it might be funny why I'm putting the orc level as my favorite. But the same creator did make Stormwind as well, so feel free to check out that. I just have to give the nod to the orc level because there is tons of NPCs in this level that are sort of hanging out with small animations, and it just gives a much bigger feel for being a real place. Which is often a big issue with these VRChat worlds, is that it's basically empty, so unless you got friends in there, it's feeling pretty lonely. Now, some of the views you get in this level are absolutely unbelievable. Like, when you walk into the city, you see the gigantic structures. It's truly awe-inspiring, and it's one of those worlds that you just start going in and you find yourself wasting 45 minutes exploring everything, trying to find everything, get all the secrets. There's hidden costumes in these levels. There's just all sorts of little mini details, and if you're a World of Warcraft fan, there is no better way to experience the franchise in VR than this. At least not that I'm aware of. Number 4. So this might be the most game of any VRChat level. This is Doom VRChat, and you can play the whole shareware version with quite awesome controls in VRChat with your friends. It works exceptionally well, it's extremely polished, and a blast of fun to play. I was like, oh, you know what, I'll record the first level, we'll do this video. I think I played basically the whole thing. I eventually just had to stop myself because the battery was getting low. You can do the shooting, you can do two-handed weapons, the secrets are here. It is one of those levels that, in terms of VRChat, I can't wait to see what else is possible. I'm guessing that because the Doom textures are so simplistic, it doesn't run too intensely, which is why this is even possible. But in terms of game complexity, there's no other stage that seems this level of complex. It's just so much fun shooting, guys. And while it's not the first time I've been in this Doom world in VR, I gotta be honest, it's the best time I've had in this world in VR. You know, I might be a weirdo, but that dun 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 dun, some pretty iconic video game music for myself. Anyone else? Number 3. So, Pokemon Sword and Shield was a game that I enjoyed a lot when it first came out, but as time went on, the lack of post-game content, which seems to plague all the Pokemon games, was very apparent. The expensive DLC furthering that frustration. On the other side though, exploring this world in VR, absolutely magnificent. In fact, there's a lot of details that I didn't even notice. You get to capture Pokemon, you get to explore the whole world. Now, the whole map isn't complete yet, but it's getting there, and I don't see any chance of the developer just stopping. It's just a world that's just so much fun to explore in, and I mean, who doesn't want to live in Pokemon? Another thing that really makes this level stand out is when you go to the wild area, there's tons of different Pokemon all wandering around that you can capture, and when you're in the town areas, there's NPCs around that you can see that are slightly animated. I mean, maybe it's a breathing pattern, but you know what? It gives the world so much more of a lived-in, real feeling, and it's another one of those levels that I got lost in exploring. Can you catch them all? Well, log into VRChat and find out. Come on, I gotta catch that Blastoise. I gotta catch the Blastoise. Why can't I catch him? Yes, I caught the Blastoise. Number 2. So when I played Final Fantasy VII Remake, there was one thing beyond any other that stood out, and it was the visuals. Seeing them translated to VR here is definitely an experience you have to have. Now, there's a few of these levels that the same creator has made. I picked this one because Aerith's house is just gorgeous in VR, and it's one of those places that I can sit there and, you know, I could spend half an hour just relaxing in. There's so much detail inside the house, and so many plants and flowers. It is the perfect type of place for VRChat, and the perfect type of place to flex my cloud avatar. Now, obviously I didn't make this avatar, but in terms of avatars, it's quite possibly the most stunning visually. Looking at yourself in the mirror is a treat for sure. So don't miss out and definitely check out these Final Fantasy VII stages, especially this one. Now, I don't always enjoy this whole mirror thing, but when I'm Cloud, I just can't help myself. He's so beautiful. Number 1. That's right, it's time for number 1. Let's do this. When Breath of the Wild came out, it basically sold people on the idea of the Switch day one. It won tons of awards, and while not everyone seems to be absolutely in love with the sometimes empty, huge open world, in terms of VRChat, there just seems to be no other world that captures the game so well than this one. Everything's animated, there's tasks to do, and it is a gigantic level. The whole opening tutorial area, or whole opening of Breath of the Wild is here. You got all the areas, and there's even a conclusion at the end. For me, why it makes this list more than anything else is just how relaxing and how gorgeous of a place this is to hang out in. If I wanted to spend an hour just relaxing, this is the place to do it. There's many iconic environments, and there's just a level of polish and quality on this one that is just unmatched by any other level. In terms of VRChat, the Breath of the Wild level is definitely my favorite for video games, and in terms of Zelda, it's not the only Zelda level that I like. Maybe another top 10? We'll see. So thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and you know what? I'm gonna do a fun bonus. If you guys want to see these full levels, I admit I got really addicted and couldn't stop playing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload all these clips, and if you want to watch more of these levels, it'll be in the description, and there'll be no talking. These are just the captured gameplay, but if you want to see what it looks like, and maybe you don't have the ability to test these ones out for whatever reason, it'll give you a look at how these look up close in VR, that is. So check the description below and click on whatever one you want to see, and I'll do that. They will be unlisted, so the only way to get to them will be through this video, but hey, if you want to see it, it'll be there. Have a nice day, thanks for watching, and don't you forget, like, comment, and please subscribe.